Pull up a stool. Most of the watermelon you bring home is mediocre. Not bad, just mid. We are going to fix that and turn an average grocery store melon into the best dish. At your cookout, watermelon, 92% water. The other 8% is sugar, lycopene, and potassium, and that 8% is everything. The good ones taste like summer in a glass. The bad ones taste like wet styrofoam. The difference is not about price, or where you bought it, or whether it was organic. It is about 4 signs you can read in 15 seconds at the bin. We are also going to learn the chef trick that turns any decent melon into the dense, glassy, ultra-flavorful version they serve at fine dining restaurants, with a vacuum sealer or without. This thing has a longer story than you would guess. Watermelon comes from Africa. Wild watermelon seeds turned up at a 5,500-year-old archaeological site in Libya. Egyptians were growing them by 2000 BCE and placing them in pharaoh tombs as water for the afterlife. Here is the surprise. Those early melons were not sweet. They were bitter, with pale yellow flesh, and people grew them for water storage during dry seasons, not for eating. The sweet red watermelon you and I know took thousands of years of selective breeding. The closest living wild relative still grows in Sudan, with white, non-bitter flesh. By the 7th century, watermelon had reached India. By the 10th, China, which is now the largest producer on the planet. Here is the cool part. Watermelon does not ripen after it is picked. Bananas keep ripening on your counter because they pump out ethylene gas. Avocados the same. Watermelon, no. Whatever sugar level the melon had on the vine is locked in forever the moment the farmer cuts the stem. So, when you pick one at the store, the only thing that matters is how ripe it was on the vine. There is no fixing it later. 4 signs that tell you. 1. The field spot. The pale patch where it sat on the ground. The deeper the yellow, the longer it ripened. 2. Webbing. Those brown scars on the rind. Webbing is sugar that bled out and crystallized while still on the vine. More webbing, more sugar. 3. Weight. Pick up 2 melons the same size. The heavier one has more water and more density. 4. Thump it. Deep, dull thud means ripe. High-pitched ring means underripe. Hollow means overripe. At the store, follow the 4 signs. Heaviest melon, dullest rind. Glossy means immature. Deepest yellow field spot, most webbing on the surface. Brown dried-out stem is good. It means the vine was done feeding the fruit and the melon ripened to its peak before harvest. Skip melons with a green stem. That one was picked early to ship faster. Take it home. Cut it in half with your biggest knife. Then quarter. Take 1 quarter, place it flesh side down on the cutting board so it does not roll. Slice off a flat at the top, then matrix cut into 1-inch cubes. Run your knife horizontally first, then vertically twice, then peel the flesh away from the rind in chunks. Save the rind. We will pickle it later. Lay the cubes on paper towels. Sprinkle lightly with flaky salt. Let them sit 5 minutes. Salt does 2 things here. It pulls out a touch of excess water, concentrating flavor. And it suppresses your bitter taste receptors so the natural sugar registers stronger. Same trick salted caramel pulls. Pat the surface dry. This is the trick most home cooks never see. If you have a vacuum sealer with a chamber, drop the salted cubes in a bag and run a full compression. 2 hours in the fridge. The vacuum ruptures the cell walls of the watermelon, the water and air get pushed out, and when you open the bag, the cubes are dense, translucent, and taste like the sweet center of the melon all the way through. Cubes on a platter. Tear a 4-ounce block of feta over the top in big chunks. Never crumbled feta. That stuff is dry and powdery. Tear fresh mint leaves and scatter. Drizzle good olive oil. A teaspoon of aged balsamic. Final pinch of flaky salt and a heavy crack of black pepper. Optional lime zest over everything. Serve immediately. This dish dies 20 minutes after plating. Bite. The watermelon is now sweet, salty from the pre-salt, and has the texture of a perfect underripe peach. The feta brings creamy fat. The mint hits like cold air. The pepper makes you wonder why nobody ever told you to put pepper on fruit. If you compressed it, the cubes are denser, almost like a wet candy, and the flavor is concentrated to the level of fruit leather intensity. Either version, this is the best thing you can do with a watermelon that is not slicing it open and eating it straight off the rind on a porch. Honest take, it is also the best thing you can bring to a summer cookout. Pick one heavy, cut it cold, salt it twice. That is the whole trick. See you in the kitchen.